Good morning. It's a beautiful day here at Rock Creek Park, Washington, D.C. suburbs. Sometimes there's nothing better than a walk along the creek to clear your mind and get some things off your chest. I've been recently seeing a lot of yapping about how horrible Universes Beyond is for Magic the Gathering. I'm going to offer a contrary opinion, but let me address a few points first. Remember, whenever I talk about things on this channel, this is an art-based channel, and that's the perspective. So keep that in mind. But keep in mind as well, I have been playing Magic since Urza's Saga, a set that was so broken that some people claimed that it was going to kill Magic forever. But we survived that. We survived a bunch of weird sets. All of them were universes within, right? But somehow we managed to survive that. Now, I recently come to acknowledge perspective by Mark Rosewater, who talks about players experiencing what he calls a dark night moment, where in the course of a gamer's life, sometimes we encounter a time when the game that we love departs from what we think it should be or what we want it to be. So it's going in a direction, but it's different than our hopes and expectation. And a lot of times, I guess he's asserting that that's when people quit. And how many times have I seen people quit, sell all their cards, only to change their mind 6 months later and then have to buy back all the staples and then rebuild their decks and then wonder what happened to all the dual lands that they sold at a loss. So anyway, there's that cycle. I'm not so sure. I mean, I've been through plenty of times when this isn't great. I mean, the card frame, when we went to 8th edition, that was kind of jarring. I didn't like the idea of having to sort through different looks and feels to the game. But I got over that. What else happened? Planeswalkers, that was a strange thing to introduce to me. I mean, how could we try to wrap our heads around a cardboard version of another player on the table? But we got around that. I got around that, came to accept it. So there's many times when personally I've had inflection points, but I stuck around, and boy, has it been a great decision. There's been no better hobby activity in my life, I guess, other than drawing. I draw every day. I haven't missed a day since I started in 2017. Been through many medical procedures, routine for things as you get older, but nonetheless, every time they put you under, you say, well, we'll see you in a couple hours. That's what happens. But on days like that, I've still done a drawing every day since 2017. But Magic the Gathering has been the constant. And it's been the way that I've created so many great friendships, had so many great travel experiences, and I am forever indebted to the role that Magic has played in my life. It has enriched my life incredibly. So, dark night moments. Will I ever quit? I don't see this happening. But how do I assess the flurry of opinions that Universes Beyond is the death of Magic or it's the worst thing? Well, I think Universes Beyond, if it keeps the game alive and growing, it's the best thing that ever happened to Magic. If it keeps giving us new settings and new art, new artists in the stable of people commissioned to do artwork, this is plus for the game. It also gives me incredible amount of job security here as a content provider, content creator, as long as there's new art and variety of art, I'm always going to have something to talk about. And by the way, you'll notice no one else is doing this. There's no dedicated channel purely to the aesthetics of art, the techniques of art, and able to execute with the, I'm not going to say authority, but with the level of experience that I have. I've been extensively trained and know a lot about art. I tried to get into the feature animation business in the mid-90s when I had kind of gotten tired of my engineering career. Can you believe that? I loved airplanes growing up. But, you know, the grind of the bureaucracy and middle management, gets to you. But the timing wasn't right for that. My portfolio was good enough to take a test, to be offered to take a test. I could have been on the crew for Hercules at Walt Disney Feature Animation, but alas, things changed, and shortly thereafter, everything went largely digital, so I was not trained and prepared for that. But Universes Beyond, the number of new artists that I've seen, the great pieces that have been created, to me it's refreshing. I think it's more likely that magic, if it suffers, it's going to become overwhelmed at some point by complexity. Case in point, I'm forever perplexed by keyword saturation, keyword migration, keyword proliferation. Everything has got to have a new keyword. And then as flavor changes or things are problematic in one implementation of a keyword mechanic, they've got to reskin it as something else. And it's an effect that's so close to the existing one. Well, I get saturated and overloaded. I think complexity might ultimately slow down magic. But as far as I'm concerned, I want magic to go on forever. I want it to continue to play the role it has in my life, the friendships I've made, the travel experiences. I also want to hear from you. What do you think about these things that I'm saying? Does Universe Beyond indicate the beginning of the end for you? Are you going to sell your cars, ditch your dual lands, regret it later and come back? I don't know. I hope not. I've been having so much fun doing Magic Art Matters, and I hope to see you all on future episodes. Please like, comment, and share. But as always, let's continue to appreciate the art of magic for the beautiful thing that it's been in our lives. Take care. Goodbye. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye-bye.